Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wherever you are watching from. Karibuni sana to Art and Culture Monday. I hope that you guys are doing fantastic this morning. I hope that you are doing great. I hope that you are ready to start yet another week in style, to put some energy, to put some oomph into this new week. And if you're not yet there, worry not, because this is exactly why Art and Culture Monday was made. It was made to kickstart your morning with some good energy and kickstart your weekend, to remind you that you're worth everything. So you can put it all, you can put all your energy into your dreams, into your job, into whatever it is that you have planned to achieve this week. We are here to cheer you on. So we are starting kama kawaida. This is Monday number 33. Yes, this is the 33rd Monday that we have been here since the beginning of the year. 33 times. That seems like a lot, but at the same time, like we were here on January 3 Mondays ago. But yeah, we have been here 33 weeks, 33 Mondays, which means that the year is 33 weeks down. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have about 19 more Mondays to go, or rather 19 weeks to go to the end of the year. So the year is flying by, so I hope that we are giving you the right energy to fly with the year, even as we do this show. Of course, you're watching Art and Culture Monday. You are on KUTV Kenya, and apart from here, we are streaming live on YouTube. So if you're about to leave your house, if you want to talk to us, you can communicate with us on YouTube. Just look for KUTV Kenya, drop your comment there. I'm going to be getting to it in just a minute. How are you doing? How is traffic on your side? How have you woken up? How are you feeling? I'm going to be engaging you in many conversations, so you can sit back, relax, listen to the conversations that are going to be going your way, because we have an amazing show prepared for you. From the top, of course, we are going to be starting with our traffic updates, and then we're going to be getting into our news updates, and then we will move down to our Did You Know segment, because today I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this one. And then we are going to sit down with our guests. Today we are having a saxophonist, which is a brilliant instrument. We're going to be sitting down and listening all about saxophones and how they are played and what types are there and what does he do. We are going to be sitting down and having all that in a conversation, and then we're going to move on to our next guest of the day, and this one is a performer, is an artist, singer, songwriter. So we are due for some entertainment right here on Art and Culture Monday. So all of that is coming to your screens from right about now all the way to 10 a.m. So keep it KUTV, and you're going to be enjoying a fantastic show. All right, so karibuni sana. We have said you're talking to me on YouTube, where we are streaming live right about now. So just tell me how your morning is doing, how traffic is doing, and then I'm going to engage you in just a minute. But right about now, we want to move on and check our traffic updates before we sit down and get to understand exactly what is happening in the country. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We want to see how our roads are doing this morning. So wherever you are headed to or from, you want to understand, and of course you can keep me updated on YouTube, where we are streaming live. Just tell me where are you headed to and how is traffic on that side, especially if you're not within the CBD, because you're going to be covering a bit of that. So if you're not within the CBD, you're in other counties, because you can be watching us from anywhere in this continent. I want to know how traffic is doing on that side. So you're texting in in on YouTube where we are streaming live. Just get to YouTube, look for KUTV Kenya. The show that is streaming live right about now is this one, all right? But right about now, courtesy of Mathre Route on Twitter, I want us to see how our roads are doing this morning. And we are starting off with Jogoo Road, and Jogoo Road is not doing great this morning. It's bumper to bumper. We are not moving at all. So if you're using Jogoo Road this morning, you may be taking a while. There is Muthaiga traffic flowing very well, and there's a video right there. Seems like if you're along Muthaiga in the super highway, you might be doing quite well this morning. Someone else is saying Zimmerman Base area in a standstill for the last 20 minutes. No traffic police today to direct the incompetent drivers who can't follow simple rules. Not my words. Yes, so Zimmerman around base area, that means if you're using Committee Road this morning, you may be taking a while, especially along Zimmerman base area, all right? Someone else is saying, again, those using the Zimmerman route better take an alternative. Buses from Githurai 44 and Rukagina Zuri making a mess in the area. So yeah, if you can avoid Committee Road into Zimmerman this morning, please go ahead and use an alternative route. Preferably, I think the Northern Bypass. Yes, you can figure out your way into the Northern Bypass and proceed to either to town or wherever it is that you are headed this morning. Someone else is saying traffic or along Thika Road, there's a bit of traffic just before Clayworks inbound. So if you're on that route, Pia, you may be taking a while this morning. Someone else is saying Thika Road, we are flowing very well. Apparently, Thika Road this morning is a bit of good news, especially because traffic is usually along Survey, Muthaiga, and this morning it seems to be flowing. So if you're on Thika Road this early morning, it may be your lucky Monday morning, all right? That's someone else is saying Wayakiwe ni bumper to bumper, but tunasonga too. So yeah, if you're using Wayakiwe again this morning, get some time. I'll figure out, do some math and get yourself some time to be in traffic because it's just flowing, but pole pole. Someone else, let me see if there's another one is Thika Road again. We are moving swiftly into the CBD, so Thika Road this morning doesn't seem to be very bad, but kindly keep me posted because we know this morning hours, the more we are getting closer to around 9 a.m., the worse it becomes. So I'd like you to keep me updated and posted in regard to how traffic is doing on your side. But that is about it, courtesy of Mathre Route on Twitter. I am now just waiting for your response. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We said if you see me seated, we are about to have a conversation. But even before that, like I said at the beginning of our show, we have an amazing lineup that is prepared, meticulously prepared just for you. So I hope that you're sticking around Art and Culture Monday, because like we said, we are going to be starting, of course, with our Did You Know segment. We have done our traffic updates, so now at least you are on the know in regard to how traffic is doing this morning. And then we are going to jump into our news updates, and then I told you we have a couple of guests that are going to be gracing our studios this morning. Today it's all fun and games. I can promise you that on Art and Culture Monday today is going to be all fun and games. But even before we get there, I want to engage you in a little something. On our Did You Know segment, we are finding out a lot of things that we ought to know, and I am loving it. But this particular morning has gotten all of us here in studio talking, because we want to understand. And we are going to be talking matters women and fashion trends. That is where our Did You Know segment is going to be coming from. But even before I tell you what it is about, I'd like to know from you this morning, what are some of retrogressive fashion trends, do women still follow, women still followed, that were considered cool or fashionable at the time, but right now we can't see the coolness or the fashion in them anymore. What are some retrogressive fashion trends that women specifically, hata hatufiki kwa men leo, today we are speaking about women, and I want to know, because there are a lot of fashion trends that have come in and out, and then some of them come back. But then have you realized that hipsters are back? Have you guys realized that hipsters are back? They were on trend when you were very young, but they are back on the streets. But you realize fashion could be anything. So I want us to pick some retrogressive fashion trends that you think, you could even think it is retrogressive. Someone might not think. So I want to hear your opinion. What are some retrogressive fashion trends that women still follow, women followed at a certain time, that were considered fashionable or cool at the time, but are no more? That are no more, they are not considered fashionable or cool anymore, or even could be thought of as ridiculous. What were you people thinking this is fashion? All right, I want to hear your opinion, because I'm going to be talking to you about a group of women in China, and you cannot believe what they considered as fashionable. That is coming right up on our Did You Know segment. But right about now, I'd like to hear from you. What are some women still follow or followed at a certain time that are no longer considered fashionable or cool, cutting across whether it is beauty or majorly? Actually, have you realized that they have all to do with beauty? Most of them, at least, whether it is about beauty or about culture, that you think right now, you look back right now and you're like, what was that? What was being practiced in the name of fashion, or in the name of beauty, or in the name of finding a husband, or in the name of being considered attractive? What can you look back to and you're like, what was that? All right, so I'd like to hear from you regarding that conversation. I'm going to keep reminding you, but you can talk to me right now. Pala YouTube, where we are streaming live right about now. Just get there, drop your comment, and I'm going to be getting to it in just a bit. That means that we are going to be having our Did You Know segment in just a bit, because I need you to really come with me to this journey and let us get to know these retrogressive fashion trends that were being, practiced by women in China. All right, but before I tell you that, there are very many right here in our country that we can get through. So I'm going to be waiting for your response and getting in just a bit. But right about now, we want to move to understanding exactly what is happening in the country. So we are moving up to our news updates. After we do that, we are going to be sitting down with our guest. Like I have told you, we have a singer-songwriter, so it's all entertainment right here in studio. And then to be sitting down and hosting a saxophonist. We're going to be understanding. If you have never heard of an instrument called a saxophone, we don't know where you've been, but it's maybe you have a minute to Google it, so that you can have some questions. Then we are going to be sitting down at length and having that conversation, because one of our guests of the day, that's what he does. That is his primary purpose for being in the interview today. So we are going to be learning a bit more about that. But right about now, keep talking to me on YouTube, where we are streaming live right about now. Just look for KU TV Kenya, drop your message, and I'm going to be getting to it in a minute.
Kenyatta University involved in this. And Kenyatta University, of course, is our premier institution for higher learning.
everybody! I'm Nena.
And I'm Gigi.
Welcome to Engine Season 2!
The place to find out about the world we live in
and the creatures that we share our planet with.
Join us on the most exciting adventures across the African continent.
See breathtaking wildlife, stunning landscapes,
and out of this world technologies.
Meet incredible scientists
and learn fantastic facts.
Explore, discover, be amazed.
Part of the next generation of African change makers.
Be a part of Engine, Africa's #1 science discovery program. Yay!
We're learning every day. Engine leads the way.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepopa si vuguvugu. Pepopa ni idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Hapo kamatia nyama kwani ni pebia
da maisha ni haya mwanaume ali da sielewi yani hata neno moja yani tunasikia tu maboko likolo yani ukiniangalia tu mwamba huyu anafiti sehemu fulani wewe ni wewe inakaa. Without your love, I can't move on. Yo, that's our boy Rhino the Don. Keep watching and listening to KUTV.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you are doing fantastic. We are still on our first hour of Art and Culture Monday, right before the fun begins. And like I said, we have an amazing lineup set up for you. We are ready to keep you entertained, to keep you informed. So in a minute, we are going to be getting to some of the news that is making headlines, and we are going to be understanding exactly what is happening in the country in just a bit, because our first guest is already here. So we want to jump into that first. We want some early morning entertainment. We're going to get to know him a bit, and then of course hear his music, because that is the reason why he is here. Also, on our conversation of the day and also our Did You Know segment, we are asking the question, what are some of the retrogressive fashion trends do women still practice or practice at a certain time that you now question their fashionability, like what made them fashionable in the first placed. You're sharing those trends with me. Just tell me, you know, what was fashionable that now you cannot even make out the sense of it to begin with. That is the conversation that we are having right here on Art and Culture Monday, and I'm waiting for your response. And you're talking to me through one channel today. It's easy to find. Just go to YouTube, look for KUTV Kenya, and the show that is airing live this morning is this one. So go there, drop your comment. Let me know how traffic is doing on your side. Let me know some of the retrogressive fashion trends that women still practice that are no longer considered fashionable or cool. Okay, so we are going to be having that conversation in just a minute. But right about now, we want to see some of the action that happened at this year's Nyege Nyege Festival. So in just a minute, coming right up is Nyege Nyege Festival 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at 50 minutes past 7 a.m., which means that we are 1 hour down. Yes, but not without entertainment, because we are about to start hugely on that. But I see some of you are already up. Monday Gang is up. The people that wake up in between 7 and 8 a.m., you guys make me happy. All right? Richard Okenye, of course, Biashara Tuesday is well represented this morning. He's saying, good morning, Karen, looking great, and all the best in the show today. Thank you very much. Always setting pace for Biashara Tuesday. Yes, Okenye, I am here. And okay, tutaongea payment baadaye, but yeah, I am here to set pace for Biashara Tuesday, which is going to be coming to you tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. If you need to learn any matters money, Biashara Tuesday is where it's at. All right. Emmanuel Manu, thank you. Good morning. How are you doing? He's saying, good morning, beautiful host. Looking forward to being entertained. Looking super. Thank you. Sorry. Looking super lovely. Thank you. Thank you very much. Monday Gang is up. If you don't know where they are commenting on, they are right here and on YouTube, where we are streaming live this morning. So just look for KUTV Kenya, the show that is airing right now. Drop your comment. I'm going to be getting to it in just a bit. And we are ready. We are ready to do this. Like I said, the show is meticulously prepared for you, and we did not even want this first hour to end before we started bringing you entertainment, because that is what we promise. There is no other breakfast show in the 254 quite like this one. So we are ready. Our first guest is already here in studio. We want to get to know him, hear him sing, and get entertained all around. So karibuni sana, ladies and gentlemen. Right about now, we are jumping to our first lounge of the day.
Hangover saa 9 ulikesha kwa Anji ninasikia. Tunangoja uongoze sifa na ibada, worship leader. Simu zinapigwa, utafika kichwa inauma, kiburi imekupanda. Kwa zoezi na maombi utafika, lakini kwa ibada utaimba, ujapona talama. Ulipigwa na lusi juu ya mpenzi, kishenzi. Isabella, Yesu sana kupenda, hata kama mbali ukijitenga. Isabella, mwabudu kwa roho na kweli, roho na kweli. Mama, Isabella mama, sikia mama. Kila mtu ametenda dhambi na kupungukiwa na utukufu wa Bwana. Lakini kufanya dhambi ni tofauti na kuishi kwa dhambi. Kujali hata mdudu tena, pitu tena, unakimbizwa kila mtu chesa tena, kinywaji kila boy ni blanda tena. Kujali hata mdudu tena, pitu tena, kitu yende chain minyororo tena, chief pedi pinning locations tena. Kiburi imekupanda, kwa zoezi na maombi utafika, lakini kwa ibada utaimba, ujapona salama. Ulipigwa na lusi juu ya mpenzi, sema kishenzi. Isabella, ati Yesu sana kupenda, hata kama mbali ukijitenga. Isabella, mwabudu kwa roho na kweli, roho na kweli.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Isabella by none other than Western Opati, and he is here in studio bringing us good vibes. Western, good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
One, you're here very early, which we appreciate. So big up.
Thank you.
Big up to you. Is it that are you a morning person or you just like love your work?
Both. It's just good to be punctual.
Yes.
Yeah,
you're the perfect guest then. You're the perfect guest for Art and Culture Monday. Please salimia wase wako nyumbani. Those who are watching, tell us who you are and we will jump right into this interview.
Okay guys, I'm Western Opati.
Yes.
Hashtag Opatiresi Opose. Many people like that hashtag because, you know, when I started music, people likened me to a certain artist. So I'm Western Opati. I'm a singer, songwriter. I'm a model also. Currently Mr. Great Lakes 2022 first runners up. Yep, and that's me.
Exactly, and you are doing great. You wear a number of hats.
Yeah.
So tunashukuru, like you are doing a number of amazing things. So quick question, Opati.
Yes.
You are literally called Western Opati.
Yes,
like
that's
those are your ID names.
My government names.
Government names. Your mother and father, big up to them. Ours were just sleeping. You have to do a kuitana easy majina.
Yeah, and apparently I'm also from...
You know, I saw it and I'm like, wait, is he from West? Like, did they mean that he's from Western? Ama anaitwa Western. So that one was pretty intriguing. Alafu pia inakufaa kama msanii. So, you know, you are doing great on that side. Let's start. Let's pull up kidogo. When did you start singing professionally, Opati?
I can say professionally I started singing when 2016 when I was during my first year at school at Egerton. That's when I first stepped my foot kwa studio.
Yes.
And that's when I started singing professionally. But singing, I started when I was very little. In fact, I remember back in Kilimo primary school where I was, that's where I got the mentality of being an artist. I wrote a song about Rift Valley Fever when I was in class 4. And the whole school, you know, vibed to the song, and then they just started giving me nicknames and whatever, and that's how I started.
Yes.
Exactly.
Wow, amazing. So 2016, what inspired you, or rather what pushed you to think, okay, I think I need to go to studio. I need to start actualizing this dream of mine. Yes.
So I think I got a support of friends who, you know, they always talk about, you know, you are singing very good, you are singing in church, you have a very good voice, why don't you record? But, you know, by that time you don't have resources, you're just starting. So I found a way of gathering some little cash, you know, doing manual work at Egerton Estates Department.
Yes.
You know, saving that little fare, umepewa na mzae ukienda shule.
Yes.
And then you know, you start gathering some cash and everything. Ni wakati nilifikisha, then I went to studio and I did my first 3 songs.
Yeah.
The first one is there. It's that hivi, you know. The first time uko studio, you don't know you have ownership of your work.
Yeah.
Unangoja tu producer kwambie do this.
Exactly.
Then later on, after umesikiza, unaambiwa na those 2 people wanakwambia, here iko hivi, it's not mastered well. Ungefanya hivi. You have a voice when you're doing your music.
Yes.
You can tell the producer, I want this and this and this, you know. Yeah, and that's how I rolled out and I did my first 3 songs. The first and the second, I think they're there. The third one, ilipotelea tu hapa, promotion and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, ikapotea. Then I've been growing since then. I found another producer and I think I've been progressing well, thank God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, that is quite the breakdown and the state of very many new artists in this industry.
Yeah,
sadly,
so true.
Because you will go, the first and foremost, like you have said, you will think you do not have a voice. You think producer is the, you know, is the OG. He knows what he's doing. So if he tells you, no, we are not doing this, we are doing this. Wow. So let me just briefly, what are some of the lessons you learned just through the first 3 songs, like you have said? What are some things you picked up as an artist that you're like, okay, I think now I have been formally introduced to the music industry?
The music industry.
Yes.
I think the first one, it's a sad one, but it's so true.
Yeah.
It's that the first thing that made me know that I think I should fight for this, I think I should strive for this, is rejection.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Yeah.
You know, you are trying to, I remember there's an artist who I approached. He was big back then in Nakuru.
Yeah.
And we had I've told you I also model. So I was doing waiting for my modeling session, and then I ran to him and asked him, studios inakuaga wapi Nakuru, because I'm from Njoro, I'm not from town.
Na town Nakuru.
Yeah, ni mbali kidogo. So, you know, he's like, studios ziko mbali, wewe unajua 58 ni wapi? You are like, oh my god, sasa nitafika wapi huko? Unaweza lipa audio kweli? That's the first one. Sometimes rejection, unafaa uitumie, you change it into positive energy.
Exactly.
Yeah, ukiwacha ikulalie, then you'll go down. So I took it as a challenge. That's the first thing. I said one day I want to be in big stages. I saw him performing big stages, and I want to be in those big stages. I think the second one, the second lesson I learned is how to write my music. You know, now that you know consciously, not producer hafai kusema kila kitu yenye unafaa kufanya, because some producers are after money. If you do a work song and you give him a 1G, if you give him even 1M and you do a work song, because many of them do that. Sorry to say, there are many Sudanese who are doing music in Nakuru, but they are not famous. Why? Because their songs are not yet there, but you know, they have money, they have cash. So that's the second thing I learned, how to write my music, how to direct my own music, you know. And then the third and the last thing I learned is how to work as an artist. You know, you are an artist when you change your hat to an artist, from the Western Opati, the person to Western Opati artist, how you package yourself, how you talk to people, how you engage with people, is very, very, very important. So that's one thing I've learned till today, the punctuality of time, the discipline, you know, doing what even you don't want, when you don't want to do it, but you must do it. You must do it, you keep the discipline, you keep going on. And that's, I think, the best real lessons I've learned so far in my musical journey.
In your music career. Wow, amazing. If you're a new artist and you're watching, I hope that you're picking these things, that you are picking a pen and paper before you go through that yourself. All right, like I hope that you're learning 1 or 2, 3 things from Western Opati, so that as you start from somewhere. You know, you can learn from another person's book, and Western is doing a pretty amazing job at keeping us educated. Question, what genre is your music?
I do contemporary gospel music,
Yes, and we're definitely loving it. I personally, I am loving it. I saw a couple of them on your channel, and I was like, okay, you are doing some good work. Because I don't think, honestly, I think the gospel industry has also evolved in some way. So if you need to reach your people, you need to package yourself well, and I think you're doing that. So then after the third song, Ikakunywa Maji, you moved to another producer. Is that the one you have been working with to date?
Apparently yes and no, because I've been working with other producers also. But you know, after the third song now, my eyes, you know, opened. And I met this one great guy. We're still friends, you know. He was we were at a group called Spat Africa back at school, and he was also a presenter. So he told me, you know, you do this, you know. I need to hook you up with something, 1, 2, 3 things. And then now the eye-opening thing was that when he had a show one day, he called me to the show, and apparently he had called all gospel artist, because he had some letters. I don't know if I can mention his name. He's Caleb Koyo. Big up Caleb Koyo. Anka Caleb Koyo. So we had so many gospel artists. That's where I started networking. And I got a friend from, and apparently the one of the big songs I have is called Bwana. After the third song in Ilikunywa Maji, we did a collab with a Ugandan artist. And I think that's God's greatness. He's called Garfield. So we did a collab called Bwana. We shot it with director Truth. Pale tu kwa shule and everything. As we continued, as we progressed, then I did Zima. Now Zima, I think it opened doors now to more audience, because Zima was apparently a song that I had done, and it was from backstory kidogo. It was from the inside because I went to a certain audition somewhere because around here Nairobi. So I came from Nakuru. Nakumbuka nilikopa do from mom. Nikapata transport. I went. Nikafika around saa 9. I was I think 650 something person to be auditioned in that audition. And then I went to the audition. I sang for around 4 seconds or so. Then I was told, nope, next time. Was given a t-shirt. I think it was all for formality. And I remember walking from that time, Express was not there. So I walked from that place of South B. I walked to Haile Selassie, talking to myself. Kama gari ingekuwa ingenigonga, because I was like, why? You know, I've come all the way, nimekopa do. So when I went back to my aunt's place, nikarudi nyumbani, I wrote Zima. Because it was like, I felt the pressure from the outside, like people are feeling mimi sina kitu ya kusema. So I did Zima, and I think Zima was eye-opening because people related with what I was saying. And then from Zima, we've been growing there. After I did Zima, I did a couple of songs. I did a song Confirm remix. It was various artists, you know, and I started growing till I did the, you know, I have so many songs.
I am hearing you mention them. I mentioned them, and I'm
because,
like,
you know, sometimes
those are a number of songs.
Because sometimes there are songs that are out there people don't know. Like I did Amani is on my latest EP. Many people don't know I recorded the whole song by myself kwa room yangu na my Android phone. And it was the song that made the CS, you know, akasema nitio kijana, because nobody knows the struggle sometimes inaenda back then when you don't have the cash.
For an artist, and how much it takes to produce an audio, then a video. We are not even going to the video because it's already a lot of money. But so where are you getting the resources for doing your music? Is it in modeling? Is it in, you know, because you wear a number of hats, so do these gigs support you in your music career?
So like I said earlier, it's all about discipline. Kitu msanii anafaa kujua, man, you can't go anywhere without discipline. Discipline is everything. So where I get the resources is how you learn how to balance. First of all, I'm a graduate. I'm a graduate of library and information science, and I've already done I've just finished my other internship at National Environment Tribunal. So sometimes when you get some little cash from there, you get some little cash from modeling, for pageantry mostly, and you know, you gather those small resources, and then you come up with a plan also, because you know, even if you there's something hard to manage is having a small amount of cash and banking it to reach at a point where you can record a song. You know, it's very hard. As a starting artist or a growing artist. So you just have to have discipline. You take small here, you just record. But with the little that you have, you just do it. Hata kama you'll do a song and you pay half of it, uambie to produce and pay siku ingine, it will give you motivation
to work at it.
It's better to pay half, do the song, then you have a motivation in mind that I have a song kwa producer flani, I have to give out the song. Instead of piling the money ifike at your cash and unataka, so that you go to the producer, will not work. So that's what I've been doing, gathering small resources, use it wisely. Unaiweka, you do a project, inafika mahali, you look as you grow. By the time unamaliza, you have a good project.
That if you waited to put all the money together, you probably would still have not worked at it. Wow, amazing. I want us to hear a second performance, but before we do that, I have a question from someone who is asking, are you planning on staying gospel? Ama pata ama pesa hivi unavuka the other side?
I think nimekuwa juzi kwa the youth week, the last 3 days I think I performed at Kenti Youth Week, and I was asked also the same question, and it went as far as me being brought to video vixens on the stage.
Yeah.
Which was quite awkward kidogo.
Yeah.
But then nililetewa, kumbe ilikuwa majaribu, nililetewa tu vixens wawili, nikaambiwa now that you have a good voice, sing for these ladies.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my God, what is this? But then I think I'll stay on course.
Yes.
Because the person we are relaying a message about is much bigger than us.
Yes.
And then I always tell people this example of this cult that carried Jesus to Jerusalem. If the cult didn't have Jesus, ingekuwa tu ile punda ya kawaida, hata ingefungiwa out of the city, but because it carried someone important, it carried a message. Ilitandikiwa mpaka leso, the palm leaves and everything, so it went into Jerusalem majestically because it had someone,
Exactly.
Yeah. So I natembeanga na that thing every day.
Yeah.
That whatever I carry, I know it's big. I know whatever I'm carrying, or whoever I'm carrying is so much big that he'll give me the avenues that I want, the blessings that I want, the the relief that I want. Because if I carry him, I'll be like that cult,
Yes.
I'll be walking into Jerusalem very meticulously, kama nimewekewa zile palm leaves.
Exactly.
So I'm planning to stay all the way through.
Yes, you are planning on staying the course. Great answer, definitely. You want to hear some more music from you? We have been speaking for quite a minute there. So we want to hear the next song. Which is the next song that we are listening to? Sifa. Okay, Sifu. Oh, we are going to be listening to... Okay. So, tunasikiza Zima. I think we need to feel the vibe that you felt during Zima that transitioned into great things. So, right about now, ladies and gentlemen, we are listening to Zima from Western Opati. Amazing music right here. That one is called Zima by Western Opati. Where can people find Zima? Because I like it.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube, and I think all music platforms, streaming platforms. Yeah, yes. From Boomplay, Deezer, Apple Music.
Yeah.
You can find Zima everywhere.
Ukitafuta tu Western Opati.
Yeah.
Utapata Zima specifically, because I think that was definitely worth the next step, because it really is a nice song. So since then, which producers have you been working with?
I've worked with Jendi. I've worked with Jeremy, producer of Smartlink Records. I've worked with Miracle Kevin, Miracle Kevin of Fresh Sound Records. I think that's the list as we go, and I'm planning to work with more big producers.
Exactly. Yeah, wow. Thank you for mentioning them, because I know they are doing great work, especially in your music. Why did you decide to go that way? So in the music industry, you're either working with a record label, one producer, or many producers. So why do you feel it is effective to work with different producers? Because this is not like you're leaving this one mekosana. No, it's just like this song was done by this one, the next one was done by a different person. How is that taking you, and you feel like it's the right move for you?
Music, there's nothing good like getting different sounds from different producers, because they have different mentality and ears to listen to music.
Yes.
So sometimes you need to you want a certain sound, you take it to a certain producer mwenye anaelewa the exact sound,
Exactly.
Because sometimes I think music is more liberal. Si kama wile wakati unatoka na mboga, alafu unapita ule mama mboga kwa estate, that guilt feeling, like unataka ufiche hiyo mboga,
that feeling of buying mboga from another mama mboga,
another mama mboga, na unapita pale kwa gate kwa estate, so you are like unataka kuficha asione.
Yes, that's such a good example though.
So I think music is more diverse. People understand. For those who understand the business, it's like I need a different sound, let me go to this producer. Akishatoa, you can take it to other people for mastering. And everything. So it makes you more diverse. You touch on more sounds that way.
So it gives you diversity.
Exactly.
So I like that. I like that answer, because that means we don't know what to expect next. Depending on the other producer you touch base with, you could produce something that is completely different. Let's speak on your latest EP. Ilitoka lini?
EP ilitoka about 2 months ago.
About 2 months ago.
2 months
How many?
ago,
What
yeah,
is the name
exactly.
of the EP?
It's called First of All.
First of all.
The
oh,
EP.
Question: Why the name First of All?
Because it's my first EP. It has many first things. It's my first EP.
Yes.
It is my first EP with mini collabos at the same time.
Yeah.
I think it's the first. I think it's the first gospel EP from Nakuru, apparently, that is doing so well, and I think it's also the first EP that has given me avenues that these other single songs have not given me.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
wow. So it is called First of All. How many songs are in the EP?
6.
6 songs.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good number.
Lovely number.
Yes.
Were
they all done by the same producer, or they were done by different producers?
They were done by different producers. There are ones that Jeremy producer did from Smartlink Records. That is Sifu and it is Sifu and Shirihena. Yes. That's a Luya reggae song, an Injili song. And then there were others that were done by Miracle Kevin. The Isabella was done by Miracle Kevin. Sif was done by Miracle Kevin. Also Rehema was done by Jeremy producer. And then there's Amani done by me.
Yes. Nice. So there is even one there that is all you.
That's why it's First of All.
Yes, then I think this is the EP that you guys ought to listen to. Honestly, if you've been looking for some good gospel music and you're wondering where are you finding, some nice collection, because 6 songs can be on replay for the whole day, to be honest. So maybe this is the EP that you need. Look for Western Opati on all social media platforms. YouTube, utazipata pale. Streaming is the EP on streaming platforms? Yes, so across all streaming platforms, tafuta Western Opati and you're going to be listening to his latest EP. So how was in a nutshell, how was the experience of making the EP?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I can say it was awesome because I think God had planned it so because when I was planning to do the EP, I didn't know I'll do the whole EP, but God came in his mysterious ways and I got chums and I had to collect something from here and there. Then I collected the whole EP. The whole EP actually was recorded, I think, apart from the last song which I did record myself. The whole EP was recorded in 1 week. In 1 week.
Yes.
And then something about the EP also, I collaborated with Funny Classic. The one we did a song with called Nishapona. And to get a different taste of something different, I did another song with an artist called Jose Carleson. So I think it was a good experience of doing the EP. And the EP is still on work because there are only 2 videos that are out. So I think I'm still striving to do the other so that the EP can be a full package.
Exactly, full audio, video, everything
exactly.
out. So you're still working on that. You have answered a question that I wanted to ask, so I'll ask it anyway. I wanted to ask the collabos that you have done before zimekuwa na kina nani, and just give them a shout out all together.
Okay, so I want to give a shout out to the first collabo that I ever did with Garfield Sniper Spence from UG, but is now in Kenya. So as first shout out to him. Another collabo I've done is with the 6 artists. We did a confirmed remix with which is, I don't know why it has not been publicly put. I don't know, because people have different brands and everything. So they are working with their own things, but we did a song with Chosen Fazo, Shaduf, Shize from Big Brand Records, and Ashtiv and another artist who's called Ongoma Classic. Big shout out to them. And then on this EP now, on this EP I've done with Funny Classic, a very good guy who's a dancer, mainly a dancer, not an artist, but he's also an artist part-time. So I've done with him 2 songs. And also big up to Jose Carleson for Nilimu invite, because I invited another guy who was to do the Sifu song, but I don't know, he had his own plans. People. There are those who are like, me, I'm from a big, I'm a big artist than this, But it's good to respect their boundaries, you know.
Exactly.
So
True.
I did a song with Carleson, alikubali. So in fact we recorded at different intervals at studio the same time.
Yeah.
But he did a good job. I want to thank him for that, and all the future collaborators
that are going to come your way.
Yeah, that are going to come my way.
Yes, exactly. Big up to all of you because you are putting amazing work together. That is why I'm very insistent on mentioning your names so that, you know, we can get to know you guys and the good work that you are doing.
Exactly.
So what's cooking right now, Opati? What are you working on?
What I'm working on right now is first I wanna finish the EP videos to package them, but I think God willing before the end of the year, God willing, maybe we'll have another song out.
Another song out.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to look out, and we look out very keenly.
Exactly.
So December tukisikia KUTV calling, you know we are asking where is that new single that you promised. But you're doing great work so far, so we wish you all the best for the rest of the year and even the next year, because we know you're only moving up. As you go higher, we are wishing you all the best. Before we wrap up, are you considering working with a record label? You want to?
None has approached so far, but we'll look on the terms. You know, terms. Sometimes I think many artists who are watching, they should just learn from when you are given a contract, you don't just sign a contract because
you read through the contract.
Read through a contract. If you know you can't read through the contract, you just find a friend or a lawyer or someone. You just pay him some little chumsa to break it down, because you know downfall of artists mostly inakuanga the record labels, because you sign something, you are selling you
didn't read the
work.
fine print.
So bikumbe kuna mahali close fulani hapo katikati inasema all your works will be owned by this production company. You will not produce a song until you say you just signed because of the money. Then you are given a good amount of money, then you don't produce a work for about 1 year, then you lose relevance, then you know you start your stuff here. Jamaa pay bill ndo hii and everything. So record label, I think none has approached, but I'm here.
If they do, you are definitely going to be reading the fine print.
If the contract is good, then we are good to go.
I think if there's anything I am loving about this interview, even as we conclude, is that young artists have a lot to learn, and you are telling them the ins and outs of the music industry. And I hope that you guys who are watching from home are learning a thing or two. Finally, I know we have mentioned this before, but social media handles, where can we find you online, and then where can we find your music?
Okay, so on online, first of all, I want to give a shout out to those people who arranged for the interview. Thank you for KUTV for allowing me. You know, it's not an easy task that you just come and go, you know, it's an organized thing. So thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for inviting me today. And then a Western Opati on all social media platforms. Western Opati YouTube, Western Opati Instagram, on Thread. Squeeze tuko na makamba mahali. So we do also Thread. We do also X. Is this Twitter or X? We do X or Twitter. Elon
we are
Musk
still there. Yes.
But we are still there. So just Western Opati on all streaming platforms. Stream the EP. It's there. It's a lovely EP. Support, subscribe, like, and share, and comment.
Yes, exactly. Please, so go for Western Opati. It's very easy. It's a very easy name. Just Western Opati across all social media handles and streaming platforms. You will get his music, and you can get to enjoy some nice today's gospel music. All right. So right about now, we want to close up on our first interview with Western Opati's song. Which one is the next one that we are playing? Sifu. Yes, we are going to be playing Sifu by Western Opati right about now.
Nataka kupatana na wabarikiwa. Niimbeni sifu, ndo maana tuko darasa kupata kaleson. Biblia tusome mchana usiku, sauti tupe tuime. Jue ndo kila kitu, favor ya airplay tupe baba. Tusikize mchana usiku na watu wapone, wabarikiwe, usifiwe, tuimbe tusifu. Minataka niimbe nisifu, minataka niimbe nisifu, minataka niimbe nisifu, minataka niimbe nisifu. Wanauliza mbona ninasifu miujiza, ndo maana ninasifu. Alimaliza kasema yamekwisha, yakakwisha, lakini na masifa mingi, yani walalo. Mungu anatinda mambo mengi mpaka tomorrow. Bati najua Mungu alifanya nini. 5K wakajiba, mama mwenye damu wakapona, viwete na visiwi wakapona. Haleluya, sifa mpeni Bwana. Haleluya, sifa mpeni Bwana. Niimbe nisifu, minataka 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 niimbe nisifu. Twakusifu Mungu mwenye nguvu, hauna mwanzo wala mwisho. Mungu wetu sifiwe.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been Western Opati with amazing gospel music that is just doing great. Whatever we need for a Monday morning, that is definitely the sort of gospel that we need for Art and Culture Monday. So we definitely do applaud the work that he is doing this morning. Remember, you can get all his music on his YouTube channel. Just go look for Western Opati, and also on all streaming platforms. That means Boomplay, Spotify, whatever it is that you are listening to your music from, you can search for Western Opati and just get to listen to his music and the many collabos that he has tapped from here and there, and just get to enjoy good gospel music. All right, so do not forget to do exactly that. We are moving on. We are at 31 minutes past 8 a.m. We are doing great right here on Art and Culture Monday. We are exactly on top of the half mark of the show, so we are down 1.5 hours. We are 1.5 hours to go, and the entertainment has just begun, because we have yet another guest that is still waiting for us. We are playing you clips from Nyege Nyege festivals, and actually we are going to keep you posted on whether Nyege Nyege festivals is going to be around this year or not, and if it is going to be, of course we are going to be bringing you clips from the Nyege Nyege festivals that is going to be going down. So we are going to be bringing it on our art calendar, so if it's gonna be there, be assured that you're going to know about it. All right, so keep it here for Nyege Nyege festival. So we are going to be giving you all the updates regarding that. Also, Western Opati was actually in Mr. and Mrs. Nairobi, Mr. and Miss Nairobi, that went down last week. Yes, that went down about 2 weeks ago, and you can catch him and all of that on our Fashion Diaries today evening at around 8 p.m. So you can tune in, keep it KUTV Kenya at 8 a.m. Go watch our show that is Fashion Diaries. You're going to be learning much more about fashion and also get to see Opati once again as he was performing in the event. All right, so keep it KUTV Kenya 8 p.m. for Fashion Diaries. But right now we want to move on, and ladies and gentlemen, break, and then we are also going to be keeping you posted on Nyege Nyege festivals last year, even as we keep our ears on the ground to gather information about Nyege Nyege festivals 2023. We are definitely going to keep you posted.
If you ever go for it, nothing said I go to jump. I think if somebody else tomorrow I go buy for soup. Where nothing said I go, I can go buy for soup. Where no coming for I go make money where I no coming for I go make money
During demonstrations, it is the right to demonstrate, the right to picket, the right to assemble, and the right to petition. These are the rights which emerge directly from that context. But it is also important to appreciate that Article 37 should not be read in isolation.
and it's great to see Kenyatta University involved in this. And Kenyatta University, of course, is our premier institution for higher learning.
Kaka mtazamaji popote ulipo unapokuwa ukitazama Safina Show
inang'oa nanga sasa hivi. Ungana nami Albanas Mwania, nahodha wa Safina Show, nikutoe ng'ambo ya pili hadi ufuoni. Safina Show, sauti ya matumaini.
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Women, young and old, are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back to the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Tech Innovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, decoded in a language, all for one for all. Every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KUTV, a new experience.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are at 39 minutes past 8 a.m. and we are doing amazing right here on Art and Culture Monday. The energy is great. We are just from hosting Western Opati, who is a young gospel artist that is definitely hitting the airwaves. And we are doing amazing. If you are wondering where you can get his music, like he has said, he is Western Opati across the board. All his social media handles are Western Opati, and he is also Western Opati on all streaming platforms. All right, so go there, get his music, because he's definitely doing a great job. Okay, we are yet to have our second guest. He is we are going to be hosting saxophonist, and we are going to be learning all about saxophones and what a saxophonist does. So we are going to be sitting down for that conversation, and also looking forward to some entertainment from a saxophone. All right, I don't know when was the last time you had a saxophone play. If it's been a while, or if you love the instruments, then stick around on Art and Culture Monday, because that is coming to you in just a bit. All right, we are still on our Did You Know segment, and I told you we are going to be bringing it to you in a few. But the question of the day is actually, what are some of the retrogressive fashion trends that women did or still practice that are no longer deemed fashionable or cool? You know, what are fashion things or fashion trends that happened or are happening right now, and you're pretty sure they're going to go out of fashion pretty soon, or you can't even understand why they are fashionable in the first place? Like we have said, most of these fashion trends, especially for women, are meant for, number one, to make us, I wanted to say them, nikakumbuka pia mimi am a woman's, to make us more attractive, or to make us attract men per se. Like we have all sorts of reasons that why we participate in some of these fashion trends. By the way, did you know that in the early days, FGM was considered fashionable? Like, in fact, our mothers, our grandmothers tended to think that if you have not gone through the cut, you cannot get a man. It was a fashion trend at some point. Can you believe it? Like, it was a cultural rite of passage that was considered fashionable. That you can actually, that, you know, the reason for it was that if you want to get married, if you want to get a good man, an honorable man in the society, you had to have gone through the cut. Like, are you seeing where I'm coming from? Of course, that has now is we are way past the days of FGM, but do you know that that is still happening? Chini ya maji tu, this is still happening. And if you actually get to sit down, like very many journalists have sat with these women or have sat with these girls, their mothers, their grandmothers actually think they are doing them good. They actually still think that this is going to help them to get married and get a man and get a home. They still really think so. Because no, unless you are insane, no mom or grandmother is actually thinking they are straight, that they are harming their children. You ask them and their way of thinking is from that perspective, that they're actually helping. So you see, these are some of this may be cultural trends that have, time has surpassed them by so far away, but they're not the only one, because fashion trends also, there are a number of them that if you look at them right now, you do not even understand how they were fashionable in the right place. And that is what I want you to share with me, either from right here in the country or from Africa in general, or from women in general in the world. What are some retrogressive fashion trends that we still follow or we followed that now are no longer fashionable or are no longer thought of as cool? Okay, that is the conversation you're having with me this morning. You can talk to me on YouTube, where we are streaming live this morning. Just look for KUTV Kenya and drop your comment there, and I'm going to be getting to it. There's just a few that are coming in, so I'm going to be getting to them in just a minute. But right about now, we want to understand what is happening in the country, the news making headlines. So in just a minute, we are going on to our news updates. We are starting with our, of course, politics, where President William Ruto has said that the government will ensure 4 million children from the arid, semi-arid and informal settlement go to school and have access to meals while at school. The president hinted that the feeding program project has already been initiated. Ruto was speaking while attending a church service at the Faith Evangelistic Ministry in Karen. Take a look.
While speaking at a church service at Faith Evangelistic Ministry in Karen, President William Ruto is noting that the government will make sure that 4 million children go to school and have a meal. He's saying that up to 250,000 children in Nairobi City will benefit from this program.
We've agreed with the governor. We're going to feed 250,000 kids in the city of Nairobi, especially from the informal settlements. We're going to use our taxes to make sure that 4 million children go to school and have a meal.
President Ruto says that the project has already been initiated and is meant to give hope to children living in arid and semi-arid areas and informal sectors. He added that the government is working with governors to scale up the reach up to 6 million.
And we are working with governors and others to scale up and see whether we can reach 6 million kids going into the future.
On affordable housing plan, President Ruto says that the housing plan agenda emphasizes on creating job opportunities for the youth and not just for the construction of houses.
Good people, I have said it before, I will say it again in church. It wasn't so much about the houses. It was so much about the jobs for the young people of Kenya. And we have a clear plan on how to create jobs in the housing program, create jobs in the digital space, create jobs exporting labor, create opportunities in our agro-processing and value addition.
Meanwhile, Ruto says the government intends to increase the country's savings culture, saying this action will win the country off from foreign borrowing, which has crippled the economy. He says that the country has only saved 350 billion shillings in a period of 60 years in the National Social Security Fund.
Because of the new formula that we have agreed and we have begun implementing the last 4 months, we are going to double that money, the 350 billion. We are going to double that money in 4 short years.
President Ruto has lauded farmers for what he says they have doubled food production as compared to last year. James Morikemunda, KUTV.
Still in matters education, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has refuted the claims that the government has hiked higher education cost. The DP has also praised the report submitted by President William Ruto by the Presidential Working Party on education reforms, saying that it is endowed with policies that are crucial to the education sector and that are aimed towards benefiting needy students in universities. Take a look.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has refuted claims by a section of Kenyans that the government has hiked the cost of higher education in the country.
Nimeona sasa wakijaribu kusema ati the changes we have made in the education sector is making education for the rich. It's a lie, blatant lie. What we are saying is we are changing the model so that people, once you are given assistance, it's full. Hakuna haja kusomesha mtoto umpatie bursary form 1, umwachilie form 2, hana then arudi nyumbani umeenda hasara. We have just refocused and changed the strategy of funding university education.
Gachagua has also held the report by the Presidential Working Party on education reforms that was presented to President William Ruto, saying it is instrumental in transforming graduates from being job seekers to being job creators.
The report has set on course a raft of reforms that will re-engineer the education system to meet emerging socio-economic development demands of our great country. It also happens when our nation is grappling with rampant unemployment as graduates from tertiary institutions compete for limited opportunities. This was one of the reasons that the President sought inclusive and evidence-based reforms in the education sector.
DP Gachagua has said that the government is keen on improving education sector, considering the allocation of more than 600 billion shillings to the sector in the 2023-2024 budget, which is an increase of 84 billion shillings to the last year allocation.
In our first budget of 2023-2024 financial year, we have allocated a record 628 billion Kenya shillings to the education sector, an increment of more than 84 billion from the previous year, accounting for about 27.4% of our total budget. Is not an accident. We are implementing and igniting a system that is skill-focused for development.
The DP has added that the government has offered paid internships to graduates to motivate them as they aim at achieving their career goals. He has also called upon higher learning institutions to take pride in impacting skills instead of courses they offer. Gachagua has reiterated that there is need for learners to be equipped with skills in tackling matters like climate change.
Universities and higher institutions of learning can no longer boast of courses they offer, but the quality of the versatile skills they impart on the graduates to solve emerging issues like climate change and enhanced food security.
Being the 41st graduation, more than 800 learners graduated from the University of East African Baraton. Joseph Kess, KUTV.
Moving on, Roots Party leader George Wajakoya has refuted claims made by the political analyst Mutahi Ngunyi, who on Saturday suggested that Azimio sponsored his political outfit to undermine President William Ruto's presidential bid in 2022. Ngunyi alleged that Azimio provided funding to Wajakoya's party to concede the launch of its manifesto with Kenya Kwanzas, with the intention of diminishing the latter's momentum. In a statement, Wajakoya hit back at Ngunyi, accusing him of exploiting his party for personal political gain, possibly to secure a role within President William Ruto's government, and terming Ngunyi's claim as political propaganda monger. Moving on, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has sounded a warning to the Azimio politicians against instigating violence to gain an upper hand in the bipartisan talks, saying the security apparatus will remain vigilant against such acts. Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi said that the government is ready for talks which should result in denunciation of the demonstrations. Take a look.
Speaking in Nyeri Town, where he attended a church service at Abundant New Life Church, the Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has extended his criticism against protests. Kindiki now warns the opposition coalition, Azimio la Umoja, not to resume protests should they fail to agree with the ruling Kenya Kwanza coalition in the ongoing bipartisan talks.
Hiyo mazungumzo isipofaulu, kusiwe mtu atatishia watu tena ati kwa sababu yale mazungumzo hatujazikizana ati sasa tunarudi kuumiza raia.
The Interior Cabinet Secretary, who was applauded for being soft-spoken, unlike his predecessors, insists government will not condone chaotic demonstrations.
Hatutakubali mtu yeyote ya siasa tena kuharibu mali.
In a different church service at St. Monica Catholic Church in Rongai, Kajiado County, the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has upheld government's readiness to engage in the bipartisan talks, which he says should put to an end the opposition protests.
Sisi tunasema tuko tayari, we will negotiate on these items in good faith, na hata wakati ndugu zetu wanaongea kutoka kwa upande wa Azimio na kutoka kwa upande wa Kenya Kwanza, we expect them that as one of the very clear resolutions that must come out of those talks is absolute denunciation of violence by any party in order to resolve political issues in our country.
The Prime Cabinet Secretary, who was oblivious to Azimio's agendas like the cost of living and auditing of 2022 presidential election results, however, says that they will only engage in the 5 key agendas outlined by Kenya Kwanza, which include reconstitution of the electoral body IEBC, among others. Azimio leader Raila Odinga, on the other hand, today disclosed meeting US Senator Chris Coons, who is linked to the 2018 handshake between former President Uhuru Kenyatta and Odinga. Through a tweet on his X account, Odinga said, and I quote, "It was a great pleasure as usual to meet and exchange notes with my friend Senator Chris Coons. An afternoon well spent," end of quote. Sentiments by Mudavadi and Kindiki and the meeting between Senator Coons and Odinga unfold as the bipartisan talks are set to kick off tomorrow. Mutweri Eliud, KUTV.
Moving on, students are already home for the August holidays and parents have been challenged to watch over their children against social factors such as early pregnancies, which have become a common effect to the girl child, as well as an increase in the number of school dropouts. For the depth of this story and more, take a look.
Kwale County parents and guardians are required to take full responsibility to ensure the safety of the school-going children in the August holiday. This follows an increase in the number of students dropping out of school due to early pregnancy and interracial marriages.
Ili bweni tulilojengewa hapa la wasichana linatusaidia kwa sababu kulikuwa na msongamano kwenye vile vyumba ambavyo vilikuwa tukikaa kwa ajili ya wanafunzi wetu wafanye masomo. Msongamano ule sasa umeisha kwa sababu tumepata nafasi kubwa ya kuwa wanafunzi wetu watalala vizuri na watasoma vizuri na shule yetu natarajia itapita vyema.
Sehemu hizi pia ni moja za sehemu zile ambao watoto wasichana wanapitia changamoto nyingi, kwa mfano ndoa ya mapema na pia pengine kupata hata mimba za mapema. Kwa hivyo wakaonelea kwamba ni muhimu waweze kuwapa nafasi watoto wasichana waweze kupata mahali ama that safe place ya kuweza kusoma bila kusumbuliwa na mambo mengine huko.
In other news, the Kilifi County government is committed to empowering young people financially. Led by the Deputy Governor of Kilifi, Flora Chibule, county officials have said that the companies registered with the groups of youth, women and people living with disability will be able to obtain loans and 30% of government tenders.
Leo hii tunajivunia ya kwamba tuna fund ambayo itatuwezesha sisi wote. Tumesema vijana, kina mama, watu wanaoishi na ulemavu, wote wako katika dimbo hilo ili uweze kunufaika katika pesa hizo.
Elsewhere in Embu County, parents are appealing for help from the government to register Embu Dallas Primary School. There are also classes and facilities, but the only challenge is lack of registration.
Watoto wangu wanasomea Kameo na ni riski kuvuka barabara kwa watoto wazuri wandogo, na magari ya mirai inapita, mabonda bonda, na inapita kwa speed sana. Kwa hivyo watoto wakitoka wanaenda, tunakuwa na wasiwasi. Tunaridhika wakati watoto wamerudi nyumbani, tunaona wako salama.
Na bila registration ya hii shule ni kumaanisha watoto ambao wanamaliza chekechea ama ECD classes hawana mahali pa kwenda. Lakini what I want to request, ile jambo ambalo nataka kuwauliza ni kwamba tusije tukawa tunafanya miradi ambayo tunaita white elephant projects, because hakuna haja ya kuwa na mijengo mikubwa ambayo haiwezi saidia watu wetu.
The biggest problem has been the children's inability to develop academically because the school has not been registered since it began in the year 2017. Anyango Sylvia, KUTV.
Ladies, we are moving on to matters farming, where the Maasai community in Narok County is adopting new strategies of income earning, shifting from their old ways of livestock keeping and embracing cultivation of various crops. John Nakola is a cabbage farmer who has experienced tremendous profits for the last 2 years since he began farming, even as he battles market and crop disease challenges. Take a look.
John Nakola is a farmer in Narosura Majimoto in Narok County. He grows cabbages, tomatoes and onions through irrigation using water from River Narosura, which sources water from the Nkongu and Kare fountain.
Vile tumefanya ni kwamba tumeweka storage, tumechimba shimo ambayo ina store maji kiasi ya kuweza kunyunyiza eka ama zaidi. Alafu unaweka maji pale, tunarudi kupump ifike kwa shamba.
In his 5-acre piece of land, Nakola has planted cabbages, which are spaced 45 centimeters apart and are now 2 months old since planting.
Tunaotesha naye mara ya kwanza, alafu tunafanya top dressing baada ya wiki mbili, bado tuna the same. Alafu baada ya mwezi moja, ikifika mwezi moja, tunafanya top dressing na NPK.
After planting, he begins the process of handling crop parasites and diseases. Nakola explains the importance of controlling these challenges by using pesticides, insecticides and herbicides as directed from the market to avoid losses. But how much does it cost to cultivate these vegetables?
Kilimo cha mboga generally sio ngumu sana. Haigarimu pesa nyingi. Maximum yenye eka moja inaweza chukua ni 100,000 kuanzia mbegu, mbolea, kuweka maji, kupalilia, kila kitu mpaka ikuwe tayari. Na kwa eka moja tunaweka between 8,000 and 10,000 seedlings.
Due to the high demand and importance of vegetables in the kitchen, the produce has a ready market despite the challenges. Nakola sells 30% of his produce in Narok and the rest to Nairobi and other regions in the country.
Na cabbage ukiuza na 20 shillings bado inalipa. Sababu you realize that ukiuza na round figure 20 times 8,000, that is 160, so you still get 60 from 1 acre. So it's the only crop so far yenye uwezi poteza regardless of the market forces.
Despite the high demand for cabbages, competition is another challenge, especially during the rainy season when the market is flooded with other type of vegetables. However, Nakola takes it with stride and head on.
Lakini hiyo hali ya soko huwa hatuna control. So hiyo tunakubali kwamba wakati mwingine iko chini, wakati mwingine iko juu, na kwa sasa mimi nimekubali nifanye kilimo ya cabbage bila kuwa speculative.
Farmers are advised to ensure that they harvest more often in order to maintain regular income. Nakola has divided his land into portions for cultivation to be done in different stages.
Hapo awali nilikuwa nafanya kuvuna kila baada ya miezi miwili, lakini kutoka hapa mahali tulipo itakuwa ni kila mwezi, itakuwa continuous kwa muda wa miezi 8.
John Nakola is one of the farmers in Narok County who encourages the rest of the community depending on livestock to embrace crop cultivation that will sustain them as they face drought challenges occasioned by climate change. Anyango Sylvia, KUTV.
Still in matters agriculture, plans to expand the irrigated acreage of the Galana Kulalu Food Security Project, that is GKFSP, by up to 20,000 acres are underway. The expansion is expected to result in an annual maize production of 2 million bags. Initially, 10,000 acres will be developed, followed by a similar size after the construction of the Galana Dam. Dorothy Musioka has this report.
The expansion exercise of the Galana Kulalu Food Security Project being carried out by Twiga Foods Limited through its commercial farming partner Celu Limited has attracted 15 companies in the public-private partnership. According to Water, Sanitation and Irrigation Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome, the 10,000-acre model farm is complete.
The work that Twiga is doing here is perfect. Twiga will take 20,000 acres. We do have enough water. We have done our estimates. We have enough water to irrigate 10,000 acres here, more or less immediately.
Peter Njonjo, who is the founder of Celu Limited, said that his farm anticipates producing at least 2 million bags of maize every year from 20,000 acres and creating employment opportunities. He added that the maize crop at Galana Kulalu matures in 105 days. Hence, with irrigation, the farm is capable of doing 3 seasons of rotational farming every year.
Unlike other parts of the country, the maize crop takes 105 days here. So it means that with irrigation, you can actually do 3 crops a year, including a rotational crop. And when you take that into account and the high yield, then this has an opportunity of actually creating a huge transformation as far as maize is concerned.
The Principal Secretary in the State Department for Irrigation, Fantas Kimodo, who said that most investors were inquiring about the type of soil and availability of water.
We're working with about 15, the ones who have really shown a lot of interest. One of the things they've been asking for the type of soils, the soil structure, which actually the proof of concept which is currently being done here by the current developer, because actually is actually trying to stress the soil structure and a number of.
To be able to develop the fertilizer regimes, we've carried out extensive soil analysis and study to look at the structure, look at the nutrient content, to look at the water retention capacity, organic matter content, among other things. That informs now the development of these 3 different regimes that we are testing against.
This comes when the country has experienced effects of climate change, and the expansion of the Galana Kulalu project will not only increase maize production, but also will enhance food security in the country. Dorothy Musioka, KU TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, that news updates this morning, but not to worry, because more updated pieces are going to be coming to your screens later on at 6:30 for our Kiswahili news and at 9 p.m. for our English news. So keep it KUTV Kenya. You're going to be updated on exactly what is happening in the country. All right. And now we are 6 minutes past 9 a.m. and our saxophonist is already here. So we are about to experience major entertainment, even as we get to know him a bit, you know, because that is exactly what we do here. So stick around. The next hour promises only good things. All right. I have been talking about our Did You Know segment since the beginning of the show, and the question of the day is, what retrogressive fashion trends do women still practice or practiced that are no longer considered fashionable or cool? We have talked about some social trends or rather cultural trends like FGM that are no longer considered trendy in this time and age. But we are talking about fashion, so I'd still like to hear from you. I want to know which retrogressive fashion trends that women still practice or did practice sometimes back that right now, not so much. They're not considered cool or fashionable anymore, or even do not serve the purpose to be called, like, do not even fit in the name to be called fashionable anymore. I am waiting for your feedback. We are streaming live on YouTube right about now, so drop your comment there. I'm going to be getting to it in just a bit. Right about now, though, on our Did You Know segment, can we take a look at what these Chinese women considered fashionable?
From the past, women have been known to be the most affected by trends. Did you know? In the ancient China, women used to practice foot binding where their feet were broken and tightly bound. This was to restrict their growth in order to fit the beauty standards in the society. The society believed small feet present ideal femininity. These women had to endure excruciating pain at the age of 3 to 6 years to be deemed attractive. Due to the unbearable pain, they walked in weird ways to balance themselves for the rest of their lives. The ideal foot size was 3 inches. This was known as gold lotus, followed by 4 inches as a silver lotus. More inches were dismissed as iron lotus, and the shoe made for the feet was lotus shoe. In accordance with common knowledge, trends have a tendency to become unfashionable over time. The foot binding became unfashionable. The women who had lotus feet were subjected to horrible treatment, and their husbands totally abandoned them, since it was no longer fashionable.
The fact that I couldn't watch that just fully, or rather wholly, just horrific experience right there. Also, we need to ask ourselves, how far are we willing to go for fashion? You know, because if I'm just putting an apparel on, maybe that's not very far. But to the point of cutting my body, you know, like to the point of cutting a whole foot to reduce in size, really, okay. Maybe we need to go down to the definition of fashion and what now means. I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your opinion on that specific practice by Chinese women. Of course, right now it is no longer fashionable. It is no longer considered a trend because I don't know. I don't even have the words. But what is your opinion? What is your opinion on that specific fashion trend? Hata kama you don't know any other retrogressive ones, could you tell me how you feel about that specific fashion trend? And let me just a question to maybe men out there or women. Do you consider women with small feet more attractive? Is that at today's, is that like one of your checks? What number is her shoe size? Where is it? Is it still considered to be more prettier if you have small feet? And I'd like to hear your opinion, honestly. I'd like to hear your opinion on that as well. But as we digest that, we want to move on because we are about to have our second guest of the day. So yeah, as we digest that, as you give me feedback, we want to jump on to our second lounge of the day and hear from our saxophonist. After the break, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner? At graduate or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
This is my jam down. I say man I will never give up. Na hata nikisota away. Show me something. Everybody wanna feel like me. You was like a river. Real thing, if I never mama, I wouldn't believe it. Hear me when I say just like
Lola ni programu inayokupa fursa ya kutizama video zozote pindi tu unapokuwa na nafasi. Hadithi za kukupa motisha, drama, maisha ya vyuo vikuu, teknolojia, masuala ya jamii, kuzuru maeneo tofauti, spoti, burudani na zaidi. Pata programu ya Lola sasa kwenye rununu yako kwa yote unayohitaji.
Exciting adventures across the African continent.
See breathtaking wildlife, stunning landscapes,
and out of this world technologies.
Meet incredible scientists
and learn fantastic facts.
Explore, discover, be amazed.
Be part of the next generation of African change makers.
Be a part of ENGEN, Africa's #1 science discovery program.
Yay! We're learning every day.
gentlemen, this is none other than Laka Waithaka, and he is doing amazing. The vibes that we need on Art and Culture Monday, you're bringing it home, and we are loving it. Laka, how are you?
I'm good.
How is your morning?
My morning is wonderful.
Are your Monday mornings always like this?
No.
Yeah.
Last night was a bit crazy. People at home have homers. So
yes.
Up at night and everything, but
yes.
we made it.
Yes.
We are here and we're so happy.
And we are grateful that you did, because we were definitely waiting for you.
Yeah.
I want you to say hi to guys at home. Wasalimie tu waambie umefika huku, then we jump right in.
All right, I want to say hi to everybody, all of my fans, all my friends, all my family.
Yes.
Special shout out to Abdurrahman in Mandera. He asked me to shout him out today here on KUTV. And also, special shout out to all the music students who want to pursue a career in music.
Yes. Wow, amazing. A special shout out to all of them. And now they have added a new music instrument to their list.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Yes, so we have been talking about that since the morning.
Yeah.
And I just want to know, one, when did you start playing the saxophone?
Wow. Okay. So my journey, let me start with the journey to the saxophone.
Yes.
And I have to appreciate my parents.
Mm-hmm.
So my parents are not, and like, they're not musicians themselves.
Yes.
Okay. But they have an appreciation for music.
Mm-hmm.
And one time we had a friend who gifted us a keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was like, everybody has to learn how to play this keyboard.
Yeah.
So we all learned how to play the keyboard.
Yes.
And then
we should have more parents like your parents.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. I mean, it goes a long way. Even for their parents now, I know CBC has music in it.
Yes.
Please support.
Yes, please.
Because it goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
So they supported me in doing the keyboard, playing the keyboard. And they said, before you learn another instrument, learn this keyboard first.
Yes.
After that, I learned the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
That's around age 12.
Yeah.
But there was a show I used to watch, and there's a guy who used to play the saxophone, and I was like, I want to be that guy.
Yes.
So I kept asking. Finally, one time during a school holiday, I was accompanying my brother. He was going for bass guitar lessons. My brother also a huge musical influence in my life.
Yeah.
He's now in trade finance and banking.
Yeah. Wow.
But
the inspiration.
I was going with him, and where he was going to learn how to play, there was a saxophone in the corner, and I asked about it, and the guy was like, yeah, go ahead, learn, just pick it up and start playing. And so he's the one who taught me that. This incredible gentleman was called Bwami Mpiana, and he used to be the band leader of orchestra, which was Les Mangelepa. So he then became my saxophone teacher and mentor at the age of 15, when I was 15 years old. Yeah, that's where it started.
Wow. So you did not start with the saxophone per se. You started way back with a lot of other instruments that you had to play along the way. One, we have to accept that your parents were amazing, because in that time and age, I believe when you were 15, that was not exactly the age where parents were uploading, artists and instruments, players. It was, you do trade finance. So your brain that.
Exactly. I mean, that's the time that you're trying to instill, career goals into your child.
Career
doctor,
goals.
lawyer, those kind of things.
Yes.
And this music thing is that thing ya kuchezea too on the side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we are starting with there. Big up to your parents, and big up to parents like those ones. And like you have said, CBC parents now have a chance.
Yes.
If your kid is really interested that way, motivate them, push them, in fact. Let them learn how to play all these different instruments. So you actually saw a saxophone on screen and you decided that is what I want to do.
Yes. So if anybody's watching this right now and they're motivated, go for it.
Go for it. So what about the saxophone stood out for you?
Like I mentioned, my brother was a huge influence because he's my elder brother, and me being the younger brother, I would just do whatever he does, follow him around, be that annoying. In fact, he used to get so annoyed sometimes.
That
like,
shadow.
Just stop. Exactly. That's it, a shadow.
Yes.
So he used to watch on that time there was Metro TV, and there used to be this show called, I think it was called like Blue Mountain Jazz Cafe or something like that. Yeah. So he'd watch that. I think it used to come either on Saturday afternoons or Sunday afternoons. And of course, I'd be there, his shadow.
Yeah.
And he'd be watching for the keyboard players, the bass guitar players, because those are the instruments he's majored in.
Yes.
Or he's interested in.
Yes.
And I used to notice all the time, all the bands that would come up to play the jazz music.
Yeah.
First of all, it was jazz music, so that's where that love for jazz
That
music
love,
got
yes,
instilled.
got for her.
And I'd noticed that this guy, sort of in the front and center, holding
Yes.
this shiny thing
Yes.
and blowing into it.
Yeah.
And he'd play like a long note, "Twee!" and people
Yes.
were like, "Wow!" I was like, that's the guy I
shots
want to
were
be.
coming from there.
Exactly.
Yes.
I don't want to be those background guys, the keyboard player, the bass guitar player. No
Yes.
offense, keyboard players and bass guitar players. But
Yes.
I thought the saxophone stood out.
Was
That
really,
was
yes.
it.
And
Yeah.
it does. To be honest, it does. Like if you have a saxophonist in the band,
Yeah.
you can somehow feel them stand out.
Exactly.
So wow. So you got into the learning of it. How was the experience of learning the saxophone? Because unlike many, okay, it's still a hand-mouth instrument, but how was the process of learning the saxophone?
The saxophone, it's well, a lot of people say that it's an easy instrument to play badly.
Yeah. Oh.
So getting an initial sound
Yeah.
isn't too difficult. I mean, you blow into it and you
Yes.
can get like a.
Yes.
And most people, they hear that and they're like, yes, I
Yes.
know how to play the saxophone. But to actually sound good on it takes
Yes.
a lot of practice, a lot of listening to other saxophonists. So that there's what we call tone imagination, so that your brain picks up
Yes.
on what sounds good
Yes.
and can start to now, guide your body on how to replicate that.
Yes.
Initially, when I started, my lesson would be 30 minutes. I'd stay in the studio for another 4 hours.
Yeah.
I'd play until my lips start bleeding, because over here, when you're blowing, the lower lip
Yes.
rests on top of your teeth.
Yes.
So if you play for too long, your teeth start to cut into your lip.
Yes.
So I'd play, go on hours and hours and hours playing the same song, and I think it used to be I'll remember which song it
Can
was.
we hear it? Just like a snippet.
I'm trying to remember which. Okay, so I started by teaching myself the scale of C. So that's just.
Yeah.
The song, it was a church song. It was
Yes.
Because when I was playing the scale of C and going down, Roho yangu.
Yes.
So that's what I played for hours.
For hours and
just
hours.
trying to figure out where the notes are and everything. And it was a painful process, but it gave me so much joy.
Yes.
And again, because this was during the school holidays while I was in high school.
Yeah.
And our high school at the time didn't have these instruments. So I'd be locked to only learning or playing during the holidays.
The
so that I
holidays,
started in
true.
April holiday.
Yeah.
Went to school 3 months, come back, and I was
Yes.
just like, I can't wait. I want
August
to-
holiday. A time like
August
now,
holiday,
you would be
I would be in the studio
playing.
every day. Other people are going to play football, going to Katia Chicks or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the studio learning how to play this instrument. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. So that is thousands of hours just put into perfecting the skill
yeah.
and learning where the notes are. That's a long time. So wait, if someone is seated at home looking at you and thinking, wow, I want to be that guy, approximately how many hours will it take to get from where they are to where you are?
Wow. I initially took 10 lessons. That time with Bwami Mpiana, I took 10 lessons. And then the next holiday, my parents saw my dedication and got me a saxophone. And I spent all my free time.
Yes.
So if you imagine, like, if I had a 20-day holiday, maybe half of that time was spent trying to play the saxophone.
Exactly.
So in terms of how long it might take, I'd put it at anywhere between 6 months to a year to be able to play tunes decently and know what you're doing, because it's very easy to start and just kind of learn a song through rote or just like through muscle memory and not actually know what's happening. And that's why I was spending all those hours playing Vumilia. Because I was teaching my fingers where to go rather than understanding what's happening with the music.
Okay. I'd like you to take us through the saxophone and what the different parts are called, and just take us through a class, just a short a 1 minute class for us to understand.
Saxophone 101 with
Yes.
Laka. So the saxophone's made up of 3 major parts. You have the mouthpiece.
Yes.
There's this.
Oh, it comes out.
It's detachable. So you have the mouthpiece. This is the neck.
Yes.
And this is what we call the body. The body has all the keys, all the key work. And we have, some saxophones have up to 23 keys. All of these are keys that are played with the fingers.
Yes.
All of these ones here.
Yes.
These ones here.
All of those are keys.
All of these are keys. Some are played with the fingers, some are played with the palms and the knuckles. So you when you get into it, it's actually a bit complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of those are necessary to make the music that you hear. The mouthpiece itself has 2 parts. You have the mouthpiece itself and this sort of like wooden looking thing that's called a reed. It's made out of cane.
Yeah.
And it's just a flexible material, so when you blow, it vibrates like that.
Yes.
If you grew up in a village, and or even if you didn't grow up in the village, but you have this experience of, you have 2 blades of grass, pull them like this and you blow, and it produces like a kind of sound.
Yes.
So that's what's happening here. You blow in here and this reed vibrates so fast that it creates a sound. So this is like the engine of the sound, because without this, you don't really get any sound. There needs to be some vibration, because sound is vibration.
Yes.
So I could try and mimic and buzz my lips and try and make a sound. And now try and manipulate that with the keys.
Yes.
Okay, so on a very basic level, this is a vibration that creates the sort of gets the engine running, and you come here, and then now this is what manipulates the sound.
Exactly. Okay, so the sound comes in through there, then it is manipulated by the keys to make the sound that you want.
Exactly. Then there's other things, there's body mechanics, your shape, your actual shape, weight, density of your body affects your sound. Because the instrument responds to what you're putting out in terms of the air, but also in terms of your body. I don't know. I don't know much more to say on that. Sorry? This part here.
Yes.
This is called the bell.
Yes.
So this is what now projects the sound. So you can see, like for me, I've put my microphone here because, well, this is not the only place the sound comes out from, because as you're blowing out, the sound will escape from any opening. So where the keys are, like you can see here, the keys are sort of open, and when I play, then the keys are closing. So how it works is wow, let's get into it. Okay, so how it works is there's openings starting from right up here.
Yes.
So the highest sounds will travel the lowest distance.
Yes.
The more you blow, like the more the air has to travel through, the deeper the sound.
The deeper the sound.
So it's like again, for people who grew up in the village.
Yeah.
Can I jump off screen to do a demonstration?
Yes.
Okay. I will cover the label so that you don't see.
That's
okay.
Yeah.
Simple bottle thing.
Yes.
You make a sound. Okay?
Yes.
Because there's that distance. You make more distance.
Yeah. Yeah, we need now to drink the water to create more distance, ladies and gentlemen.
So before we had two, now we have two.
Yes.
And the further the air has to travel, it gets lower and lower.
It goes lower and lower.
Exactly, in pitch.
Ooh,
so that's the idea behind it. That's like the physics. For the guys, the physics people.
Yes.
The frequency is changing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. I mean, that is a lot. That is just lesson number one.
Lesson number one. Welcome to the saxophone.
Yes, so that if you're really interested, it's not in the air of people.
Yes.
You actually get to understand what is happening. Exactly. Because that might be where a lot of people are coming from. I think at this juncture, I want us to listen to another performance so that we can come back and hear the music that you have made now from the instrument. But right about now, performance from Laka Waithaka, and I have not asked whether Laka is actually his ID name. I'm going to ask that after the performance. Okay, so but right about now, ladies and gentlemen, saxophonist Laka Waithaka with a performance. vibes on vibes is what you are, Laka. And if you have wanted to listen to such music, he's going to be telling us where he plays live in just a minute. But Laka Waithaka, Laka ulitoa wapi hiyo jina?
Laka, nilitoa kwenye. No, it came from my sister. So my sister and I are pretty close in age.
Yes.
I think we're about is it 18 months apart or something like that?
Yeah.
Some incredible. I think 21 months apart. Actually,
yes.
Yeah. And so when I was brought home from the hospital, she told this is Waithaka.
Yes.
And of course, baby talk.
Oh yeah.
So
Waithaka became Laka.
Waithaka became Laka.
So
and
sweet.
So yeah. And that's the name I grew up with. And it just stuck. Because I was like, why am I calling myself Samuel Titus?
Yeah.
And that's not what most people call me. Those are my actual government.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
I like that. Big up. Is it big sister? Slightly big sister, but big up to you.
Yes.
You have definitely participated in Laka's journey.
Thank you.
So Laka, you decided this is the instrument you want to play. You put in the work because there's some work to be put. If you want to be a saxophonist, you better. There's work to be put. And then you started performing. Where and when was your very first gig?
Very first gig.
Yes.
I want to say first, my training ground was church.
Yes.
And church has been a great training ground for many musicians because there's a lot of grace.
Exactly.
You go and make mistakes and people will boo you and throw things at you and cuss you out or whatever it is.
Yes.
People will be like, oh, that was nice, try again later.
Yes.
The sound guys are not so gracious. They want to kunyongea mic.
Yeah.
Marie, thank you. Anyway, but church really was a great training ground for me.
Yes.
And I think the difference was that I took it seriously. One, because I already love church music, so I was like, I really want to play this music correctly.
Yes. Yeah.
I also had role models who were Christian saxophonists like Kirk Whalum.
Yeah.
And so seeing how they took their craft seriously and even as a means of worshiping God, then I was like, I need to do the same.
Yes.
So even there in the worship team, I would, play with all the seriousness, come up with horn lines, be, quite focused on it.
Yes.
And then after high school, my friends and I started a rock band. So we were in a band called X&O. Yeah, rocking Nairobi.
Yeah.
And that's where I started now learning how to be what we call a front man, like a band front man, the guy who sort of leads.
Like you wanted.
Exactly,
you said you do want the back.
But now instead of playing the saxophone, I had like spiky hair. And I was like, but then the interesting thing, X&O quickly started shifting from rock to jazz. So we became a jazz band, and now I got to play the saxophone in front of all these people, and started living that dream that I had. And I went to study communication all throughout my uni years. I was playing, performing, and at that time, because there wasn't a huge stake on it, I felt like I had some freedom to do it without the pressure of it has to be perfect.
Yes.
So I played with as many people as I could. I played with hip hop bands at what was that thing called, the hip hop festival? What was not Wapi? Was it Wapi? I think it was Wapi.
Not sure.
It used to be at the British Council. So we even met people like Calligraph Jones there when they were battle rappers. And I used to perform with Black Skills, David Oyuke, and Pepe Hayes and Chiso. Wow. Hey, that takes me back. Anyway, so played with hip hop bands, played with rock bands, played in church, of course, so you're playing diverse music there.
Yes.
Played in uni, we had with Richard Alai and Manu Mutiso and a few other people. We had a band called B7 because we were 7 guys. So we call ourselves B7. And we play now like more African, Rumba-ish, Afro-pop stuff.
Yes.
So all those experiences really started to hone my sound, my ability to sort of fluidly move between styles, and also my composition, because I started listening for what I liked and started creating music in the same style.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with all that fluidity, where did you land? Like right now, what does Laka Waithaka play?
So what I really liked to listened to was jazz music,
Yes.
because I felt like that's where the saxophone is at home.
Yes.
Is most
Is
expressive.
jazz, true.
Yeah, and but me I'm a Africa. What are those people called? That is for you know, Africa first. You know, not a black supremacist, but like
yes, I
love
Africanacity.
Africa.
I know it's not the name, but okay.
Yeah, I think.
But you are for Africa
Afropolitan,
and being
kabisa,
African.
kabisa,
Yes.
kabisa.
Yes.
You can't even see how I'm dressed. Like
Yes.
this is my preferred.
It's
This is
very-
where I'm comfortable.
Yes.
And so I started making. My desire was to make
Yes.
music that was as at the same caliber as the jazz music I was listening to, but
Yeah.
with an African sound.
Oh
And
yeah, my
many years later-
producer is telling me it's called Pan-Africanist.
Pan-Africanist.
Yes.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yes.
Oh no, Bonnie. Is that Bonnie
No,
or Ryan?
Ryan. That was Ryan.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks, man. And so I started on that journey, and I was just making music for myself. I mean, at that time, I didn't have great ambitions to record it or to perform it, but I was just like, one day, if this goes out, it'll
Yes.
be cool if it sounded like this.
Yes.
Many years later, I got to put words to that. So what I do is I create music in the sound of the land. So every land has its own sound.
Yes.
And this is very clear, like even in jazz music, you listen to South African jazz music.
Yes.
You listen to Latin jazz music. You listen to Memphis jazz in the States, or
Yes.
if it's New Orleans jazz, they all have a different flavor, all of
Yes.
them. Even like in West Africa and East Africa, the jazz is different.
Yes.
And I've played in both West Africa and East Africa. Anyway, just kidding. No, but I'm not kidding. But anyway,
Yes, you have played it.
All these different places have their own different flavor.
Yes.
And one of the greatest, now that we're on an arts and culture show, one
Yes.
of the greatest criticisms that we've gotten as artists in Kenya is that
Yeah.
we don't have anything original.
Yeah.
What I'm wearing is a Nigerian shirt.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about fashion, and
Yes.
the fashion trends that we've adopted or followed, a lot of them are, you know, from other countries. And other countries like Uganda, they'll own their stuff,
Yeah.
you know, what they've, like their traditional dress, and modify it or whatever, but it's theirs. And there's been that criticism across fashion, across visual art, across music. And so, you know, it's just really trying to come up with what is our sound.
Yes, what is Kenyan?
What is Kenyan?
Yes.
And let's celebrate that and push that forward.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you are definitely working on that. And we are
Exactly.
rooting for you. We are rooting for you. We want you to sit here, to come here with a Kenyan attire.
Yeah.
You know, kuja usimame, and we do great things. So you are working on that right now, or rather, what are you working on right now?
So right now, continuing to work on that Kenyan sound. I'm moving away from the jazz sort of umbrella.
Yeah.
Because what we're creating, I play in a band called Shamsi Music.
Yes.
And these are my brothers.
That
These
was
are,
my next question.
Oh,
That's
okay. Yeah. So with Shamsi Music,
Yes.
it started. I mean, I started on my own with some of the songs, even the songs that we've done as Shamsi. Some of them were compositions I made before the band started. But I got together with other people who had a similar vision, and it just blew up and became something so beautiful.
Exactly.
So even with Shamsi right now, we're in a process of writing new music, and it's still that characteristic Shamsi sound, which is like African rhythms and melodic ideas.
Yes.
But with a sort of like a modern feel to it.
Yes.
So that's how I would put it.
That's how you would put it right now. Wow, I am so glad because of the things that you are doing, because from there your fluidity is now coming to sort of taking form into what you want to do and what you need to do.
Yeah.
I'm told we are out of time, so where can we find that is the reaction I look for. Where can we find your compositions, and of course your compositions with Shamsi?
Okay, so you can find my music has been absorbed in Shamsi. So look for Shamsi Music.
Yes.
Anywhere, all digital platforms, you'll find Shamsi Music there. Even on YouTube, we have some videos there. I have recently started playing solo, like now the stuff that you've heard today.
Yes.
And I play every Friday at Ate Restaurant, which is in Kitisuru. But I'm also available for bookings if you want to hire me for weddings or whatever it is.
Yes.
I'd first put Shamsi. And
Yes.
then if that's not working for you, then
Yeah.
you can talk and you can look at hiring Laka for your event.
Harry.
hiring.
Oh, hiring Laka.
So,
I wanted to ask, like a direct Instagram, Facebook, where can people find you directly?
So Instagram, look for Laxophonist. So it's saxophonist, but with an L at the beginning.
Yes.
Laka the saxophonist.
Yes.
Same on Twitter. Facebook, Laka Waithaka.
Yeah.
Most other places, Laka Waithaka.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Laka Waithaka and Shamsi, the band.
And Shamsi Music.
Oh, Shamsi. Where? Shamsi Music.
Yes, Shamsi
Thank
Music.
you. We got that. So you're going to find a lot of his new compositions, the things that he's working on and he is doing. Someone is saying here, who is this? Duly Sax. And I'm proud. Yes, proud of you, Laka.
Thank you.
Yes, so you should know that you're doing amazing. Miriam Juki is saying, good morning, Karen. The show today is just vibes. All right. Victoria Wild. And you look amazing today, Karen. Thank you for so much. And Laka, you're looking amazing as well.
Thanks,
I want
Karen.
us to get to listen to your compositions because that's why you're here. So I want to close the show, ladies and gentlemen. We are putting a comma there. Then Laka is actually going to close the show for us today with performances. But right now, I want to say thank you for keeping me company, online, for being here, for participating, for waking up very early to just listen to what I have to say on a Monday morning. We appreciate, of course, me and Monday gang appreciate, from my producer Ryan to the whole of gallery. There are ladies and gents that are seated to just make sure that you're getting the right thing. And of course, Laka and our first guest, Western Opati. Thank you so much. It's a lot. The studio is full from Kangi to the rest of the crew. People, yes, patience. Thank you. People are, standing right here to just make sure you're getting the right content. So thank you so much. You guys are amazing. I'll see you next Monday. Same time, same place, same amazing show. But right about now, Laka Waithaka with his saxophone.
Yes, so I'm gonna do an original song. I want to involve you.
Yes.
So everyone, even in the studio, let's go like this. Like just a chakacha. This song is called Elephant Parade. Hey, keep it going. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My producer is telling me this is the last performance.
Sure.
Yes. Okay.
Sure. Let's do it.
Since you're here.
Since I'm here, let's do it.